Am I the asshole for saying to my neighbors I don't like their kids? I am CF by choice as I don't want kids and all I'm focused on is my career and my ambitions. A year ago I bought my first house in an area I fell in love with, but there's loads of kids that live here too, all under 13. The kids don't come up to my house or talk to me, so I'm okay with that. I also know that every mum and dad out there think their children are the greatest children ever, and that's okay. What happened was the parents were all outside and so was I, and we all had a cup of tea and a nice chat. They immediately started talking about children and I just minded my own business whilst they talked about their kids. One of my neighbors said that's why me likes my children and my children are her favorite and that's why she wants kids. I simply replied back that I'm CF by choice and I stated facts that I don't like her children or anyone else's children and I won't be having children. She went indoors and seems upset. The neighbors think I was a bit too harsh. Am I an asshole? Info: I don't understand the last part. Your neighbor said she likes someone's kids, and that's why she wants kids, and then you reply you don't like her kids. Who exactly are you talking about? Esh. The neighbor didn't need to go on about her kids and how you like them and say you wanted kids. That was weird. You could have been more tactful too and just said you are kid-free by choice and don't plan on having any. You didn't need to tell a mom you didn't like her kids. You also don't need to take being kid-free your entire personality. Well, yeah, you can explain that you're child-free without being rude. CF doesn't mean I hate kids. It means you don't want kids. Saying you hate someone's kids is just a dick move. Analogy. One thing is to say I prefer dog's company to human company, tbh I am single by choice and happy, and quite the other thing to say I don't like your husband, or anybody else's husband, and I never intend to get married sounds intense and unnecessary and mildly insulting. Children are people too, and we are supposed to choose our words while talking about someone's family members. Kids are not noisy cars or screaming furniture. I have a feeling you will forever be the child hater next door, lol. I might have phrased it differently. Neighbor shouldn't have said what she said either. Not the asshole, she brought it on herself, lol. You're the asshole, FFS, all you have to do is say you're child-free and not planning on it. X200B I stated facts that I don't like her children, that's just bizarrely hostile. She wasn't trying to make you hold one or something. I find it odd that she claimed her kids were your favorites. On a thing. You were probably wise to shut it down. You are antisocial. That's fine. Just don't expect people to like you. Esh. Not the asshole for standing up for yourself and reaffirming you don't want kids and even admonishing this rude neighbor for speaking for you. But I might have left the I don't like your kids part out just for the sake of future neighborly interactions. You told someone you don't like their kids and now you're asking us if you're an AH. Yes, you're the asshole, and it has nothing to do with being CF, or ambitious, or whatever. Those things are all absolutely fine. This is just you being unlikable and rude. You're the asshole. It's completely acceptable. State you're child-free and will always be. It's even acceptable to say you don't like kids in general. It's another thing to say I don't like your kids. Like, damn, that's harsh and mean. You went from stating your beliefs to overstepping into an insult. Not the asshole, but it's not really that hard to get the point across without being quite so factual. Keep it light. Well, I don't actually like or dislike your children more than anyone else's. I'm still really pleased they're yours and not mine, though I sure don't want any of my own. Reddit is wild. You're the asshole. It's called basic manners, bro. It keeps society together. Sometimes you really do just have to smile and nod. You're the asshole for the way you phrased it. Had you said I don't like your children any more or less than any of the other children in the neighborhood, you would have been fine. But to tell someone you don't like their children or anyone's children is on the harsh side. As a mom of 4, you're not the asshole. Sometimes I didn't like my kids either. But I always loved them. You're the asshole. I'm CF by choice and I would never pointedly say I don't like your kids so someone. There's a more tactful way of doing it. Toxic stuff like that is why I stopped going to the CF subreddit. Yes, we're CF, but none of us should be ours about it even if the other party started it. You're the asshole, yes of course. Geez. They were making a light-hearted joke, and you seemingly jumped at the chance to insult small humans. Yes, AITA. It's fine to be child-free and not like being around kids. But to make a blanket statement that you don't like someone's kids because you hate all kids is very rude. Kids are people too. You are a kid and that kid will be an adult one day. You can have more tact and say, kids actually aren't your thing, but I'm sure they are great kids. No reason to announce to the world you hate all children. Some kids are actually very advanced, intelligent, funny and introspective. You're the asshole not because you don't want kids, but because you seem to have gone out of your way to alienate your neighbors for no real reason and create a hostility between the two homes when there didn't need to be. You're the asshole being child-free by choice doesn't mean you get to be rude. You moved into a neighborhood with loads of children, so you better get used to them and their parents being around or you will make yourself miserable. You don't have to engage with the kids. In fact, you probably shouldn't since you clearly indiscriminately dislike children. While the neighbor was wrong to say what she did, you were way beyond rude with what you said. Don't be expecting any more invites. You could have easily explained your child-free by choice decision without being rude. You're the asshole how to alienate yourself from your neighbors who all have kids. Next we'll see a post about how their neighbors all hate them, avoid them or give them mean looks and won't talk to them anymore. Why do you think insulting children to parents is okay, and more specifically you insult her children to her face? Her comment was weird, which makes me think you're leaving out the nuance behind it. You can state that you're child-free without being an asshole to everyone else present for the conversation. Not the asshole. How bizarre of someone to just state you love their children so much that you want to have yours because of them. That is an assumption. I assume you're from USA? Sorry, I just can't think of anywhere else someone would think this is appropriate to say to someone else. You're the asshole. I am CF myself, as I don't like dealing with children, but you did not have to present it in this way. Simply saying something like I am not planning to have children as they aren't my thing, or I just don't have the patience for them is just as truthful and more tactful. Soft AH. It was a braggy pushy statement by the neighbor, but you could have maybe said something like TBH I am not a kid person and do not plan on having them myself rather than what you did LOL, certainly a way to stop a conversation LOL. You're the asshole. No need to tell her you didn't like her kids. Yeah, it's annoying that she went on about them and that's why she wants kids comment was unnecessary, but saying you don't like her kids is just rude. I say this as someone who is also child-free by choice and also dislikes kids. You're the asshole. I agree with your neighbors. You should have put a period after I'm child-free by choice. At the very least, you should have given a specific reason why you find the neighborhood's children unpleasant. You're the asshole. Your neighbor told a gentle ribbing to the other parents, and you jumped in to be rude to everyone. Why? What was your goal here? Not the asshole. If she doesn't want the truth, then she shouldn't lie. Sure, there was a more tactful way to phrase it, but it's not like you singled out that you hated only her kids. It's weird that she even said it. Not the asshole because of what she said. You never told her you liked her kids or that you wanted children yourself. She not only assumed but also said something for you without knowing. Not the asshole. She told a stupid lie and got a response saying you don't like hers or anyone else's children. It's on her for taking it personally. Not the asshole. That was the lady telling others that her kids are your favorite. How ridiculous and self-obsessed. Had she not said that, you would not have been forced to clarify your position. There should not be a blanket assumption that everyone wants to breed. That assumption is what is rude. What women do with their bodies should be their own business. Anyone who has an issue with your factual information is the problem, not you. You're the asshole. CF is one thing. Not liking children is another. It's like the difference between not wanting to get married and saying you don't like any men or women. Not the asshole. I have 2 kids and I love them, and 98 of the time I like them, but other people's kids. Pass. Even my kids know I am not child-friendly. They go places and do things with their friends, but not at my house or with me. I will drop them off and pick them up, but nope, noppity, nope on other people's kids. Hey, on the bright side, you won't ever be asked to babysit. Ha ha ha. Not the asshole, but you could have been more tactful. Hell, it's even better to say I don't particularly care for children, I'm child-free by choice, rather than saying specifically that you don't like her children. I know you amended that later to say anyone's kids, but still the first line was a direct attack in her eyes on her kids. You're the asshole. It was conversation making and you could have said everything you did say, but in a jovial, friendly way. You're a cold neighbor, and also, you're probably gonna end up in a dead-end role in your career just like everybody else. You're not special for not having kids, LMAO. I am also happily CF and don't like kids, but you're the asshole. Everyone's feelings are valid here, but you could have had more tact with someone you live next to. Now you've probably made things awkward or hostile depending on your tone. At this point, there isn't really a whole lot you can do, the damage has been done. But your neighbor might be receptive if you extended an olive branch and said, hey, that came out way harsher than I meant. Or something. You're the asshole. Do people just not have common courtesy or social skills anymore, or what? Not the asshole, although I thought this was tough because I think your response was slightly rude when it didn't need to be. I've been married 20 years, we 2 CF by choice. If someone said that to me, I would simply state, no offense, but I still don't want children, and left it at that. Even though she brought in her children, I wouldn't bring them up in the response. You're the asshole for the way you phrased it. I also don't want to have kids and I'm not a fan of kids. But telling someone you don't like their kids just because you don't like kids in general is rude AF. IDK, I'm getting vibes that the mom meant it as a joke. Probably not the best situation to bring up you don't want kids, but still not the asshole. You're the asshole for turning a joke and a friendly gesture into an opportunity to insult the other person. Children are seen by their parents as an extension of them and reflection of their character, especially mothers, who are the ones more permanently changed as a result of the process. Saying you don't like someone's young kids is the same as saying you don't like them personally, so try to keep that bit to yourself in the future and just say you don't want kids if it comes up. Not the asshole. Parents should know and be reminded that their children are only special to them, and not everyone outside of their family is willing or eager to be part of their village. OP went the extra mile to ensure this particular parent and the rest on her street will leave her the hell alone. LOL, this uncontrollable need for some parents to try and convert child-free folks is very real. So ops harshness, personally, is delightful. Not the asshole. She lied to make herself look good and you were just being honest. Not the asshole at all. It's not about liking any kids in specific. It's about someone confidently saying you like X and you directly correcting them. To anyone saying, oh, you can just say you don't like kids in general, you did. Not the asshole. Why is the neighbor confident in putting words into your mouth? LOL, and why then pouting when they realize they were wrong? So ridiculous. I'm sorry y'all, but not the asshole. This woman is probably has children and everyone's opinion pushed onto her. Snapping at someone is not okay, and this was not nice, but they had it coming, I guess. CF, women are disrespected on the daily. It's hard not to feel defeated.